Spain may try to extradite Carles Puigdemont for sedition now. Hello and welcome to Catalan News. Germany rejected considering an extradition request for rebellion against Catalan leader Carles Puigdemont. German judges said there was no violence in Catalonia, but Spain wants him back and for a serious crime that could carry a prison sentence. So the Spanish Supreme Court is studying to change its prosecution and charge him with sedition now. Would this make extradition any easier, or could it play against Spain's interests, suggesting that it's trying to force extradition at any cost? We'll analyse all this in today's show, on the day that we also learned that the Parliament Speaker will visit the UN in Geneva to denounce the Catalan situation. The Spanish Supreme Court said today that there could have been a massacre in Catalonia had more police officers been deployed on the streets on referendum day. In an unusual judicial document, the magistrate from the Supreme Court also criticised his German counterparts for using, in his view, unreasonable arguments to dismiss rebellion in Carles Puigdemont's case. According to the judge, the events in Catalonia could be compared to a coup.
Trying to extradite Carles Puigdemont from Germany on rebellion charges has not worked. That's why Spain's Supreme Court is considering lowering the charge to sedition, in an attempt to get the deposed Catalan president back to Spain, at least for this crime, which carries a sentence of up to 15 years in jail. Today, the Spanish court criticised the German judges for dismissing the rebellion charge due to an absence of violence, and even called the German court's arguments unreasonable. The Madrid judges went on to say that if there had been more Spanish police officers deployed during the October 1st referendum, there would have been literally a massacre in Catalonia. Yet Puigdemont's lawyer rejected the court's arguments, ironically calling them unbeatable. Another lawyer of deposed ministers said that Spain is trying to get an extradition à la carte and warned that, in any case, sedition was removed from the German criminal code in the 1970s. In a new escalation in the internationalisation of the Catalan case, we also learned today that the Parliament President, Roger Torrent, will meet United Nations officials tomorrow and on Thursday in Geneva. His aim is to condemn the Spanish judiciary's blocking of several pro-independence MPs from being sworn in, something Torrent describes as a violation of fundamental rights. While the pro-independence parties agree on taking the case to the international authorities, not everyone in the Catalan Parliament is enthusiastic about the Speaker's trip.
Que es deixi de viatges i que es deixi de buscar excuses, i potser és la seva mala consciència i els seus debats interns dins del bloc independentista que li força a fer aquest tipus de viatges.
Que ha decidido irse a viajar a la sede de Naciones Unidas para hacer de emisario de Puigdemont.
The Parliament Speaker will also hold meetings with the Swiss authorities, as two exiled Catalan politicians involved in the independence legal case have sought refuge in the country. Meanwhile, yet another day has gone by without a government in Catalonia, to the horror of some parties. As a result, the main pro-independence force, Puigdemont's Junts per Catalunya, remains under pressure to nominate a new MP for president.
Nosaltres creiem que el govern ha de ser el més aviat possible. Creiem que no hi guanya res al país, deixant que s'eternitzi la situació actual.
Puigdemont's MPs will meet him in Berlin today and tomorrow to agree on the next steps. On the table, whether to put forward a new name as candidate for the presidency or to once again try to swear the deposed president in.
Former Catalan ministers face the Spanish Supreme Court today, and two of them, still MPs, criticised the judge in charge of the independence case before the magistrate himself. Josep Rull and Raúl Romeva questioned Spain's separation of powers and defended Catalonia's right to self-determination and the peaceful means that the pro-independence movement has always followed. Both leaders entered jail on March the 23rd. It's the second time they're being held behind bars, after spending a month in pre-trial prison last November. Another former minister, Joaquim Forn, who has given up politics, urged the judge to release him. He's been in jail for almost 6 months. In other news, the Catalan NGO Proactiva Open Arms has become well known in Europe for its efforts to save refugees in the Mediterranean Sea. It's rescued more than 26,500 people from drowning in the sea since being founded in 2016. Now the NGO is extending its activities even more. In a bid to save even more lives, the NGO will travel to sub-Saharan countries to warn people of the dangers that travelling to Europe entails, in order to increase their awareness before they set off on a dangerous trip through the desert and then across the sea. Their aim is to prevent people from emigrating using dangerous routes, warning that in the best case scenario, they may just be detained or extorted.
començarem a fer a partir d'aquest mes és anar a origen, anar als països d'origen i aportar tots els testimonis que hem anat gravant durant aquests anys al vaixell, a l'Open Arms i a l'Austral i al Golf Azzurro, que hem gravat testimonis de moltes nacionalitats, de gent que deia que no tornaria a fer aquest viatge, que aquest viatge li ha costat la vida al seu germà, al seu pare, a la seva mare.
Let's change topic now. Today the Alimentaria Fair in Barcelona held its second session of the week. We've been there again to discover the latest innovations in the drink sector. Let's have a look.
It looks like a normal straw, and you can use it to drink coffee, water or a cocktail. But here's the wow factor. You can eat it just like a candy.
Lo importante es que no se deshace en ningún momento. Tarda más de media hora en empezar a perder la forma en bebidas naturales, más de una hora en bebidas frías, con lo cual te da tiempo de horas a beberse lo que sea, un smoothie, un batido, un cóctel, un gin tonic.
The edible straw has been created by the Catalan company Sorbos, which literally means sips. You can find it in the Alimentaria Fair, which runs until Thursday in l'Hospitalet de Llobregat. An entire section of the Congress is dedicated to drinks. Reducing waste is one of this year's trends, as are natural products without any additives. An example is this craft beer from Barcelona.
O sigui que és un producte 100% natural. Porta els ingredients, els ingredients bàsics és l'aigua, la malta de civada, el llevat i la mel. Res més, absolutament.
Times are changing. Customers now appreciate more sustainable products and also new tastes. This is why the main beer producer in Catalonia is introducing Indian pale ales to its repertoire. You might know Dam for its red-labeled Estrella beer bottles, but this time they are opting for a greenish design inspired by Mediterranean landscapes. And there is more. A company producing a gin-like beverage has made a point of not leaving anyone behind.
Son sobre todo a las personas que no pueden beber alcohol o que de alguna manera no les apetezca beber alcohol, porque hay mucha gente que no le gusta el alcohol, o a las personas que tienen que conducir.
Who knows? Maybe this cocktail machine will prepare the next gin and tonic you drink, whether alcohol-free or not.
Business is not only running well in the hotel and restaurant sectors, Barcelona port activity is also on the rise and at a very positive rate. Goods traffic at the Port of Barcelona amounted to 16.5 million tonnes in the first quarter of the year, a raise of 18.5% over the same period in 2017. The positive figures are attributed to different segments of the port performing well, in particular the container port, which so far this year has handled some 786,000 containers. The loading and unloading of vehicles grew by 6% in the same period, and the port handled 500,000 people, some 26% more than last year, with 18% more ferry passengers and 33% more cruise ship passengers. On to culture now. Catalonia is in a strategic location in the Mediterranean, and this means that for years different cultures and civilizations have come here, from the Greeks to the Romans and the Moors. So anywhere you go, you can find some history.
Catalonia has a rich cultural heritage dating back thousands of years. Scratch away at the surface of the land and mysteries of the past are revealed. There is enough to keep archaeologists busy for quite some time. Built in the 1st century AD, surrounded by large buildings, it was easy to miss the Roman theatre in the southern city of Tarragona. In the 1970s, it was almost destroyed during a development rush. But it is now being restored in order to resemble its former glory, just a little bit more. And little by little, it's beginning to take shape.
Estem en un lloc d'una altíssima importància arqueològica i històrica, però aquí no tenim la monumentalitat que altres ciutats poden tenir amb monuments com aquest. Quan això es descobreix a finals del segle XIX, això havia estat molt de segles un terreny desconegut.
Also harking back to Roman times, recently a wooden Roman ship was discovered off the coast of northern Catalonia, with its structure well preserved even after 2,000 years at the bottom of the Mediterranean Sea. The ship carried 135 amphora, an ancient container for carrying cargo. It has now been confirmed by archaeologists that these amphora were being used to transport fish sauce. The finding offers a further insight into the ancient Roman way of life in Catalonia. Meanwhile, deep in the Catalan Pyrenees in Puigcerdà, work is underway to recover an old tunnel network beneath the town's streets and turn it into a tourist attraction.
Fer-los visitables i, per tant, que fos un nou actiu turístic i cultural del municipi, i quart element que ens plantejàvem és mica en mica i per fases anar rehabilitant els diferents túnels i que acabessin conformant una xarxa de túnels al subsol de Puigcerdà.
The tunnels themselves have an interesting history. Dating back to between the 14th and 18th centuries, they were built from under the town center to beyond the town wall and are believed to have been used by farmers and other people to sneak in and out of their homes without being seen by possible enemies. During the Spanish Civil War, the tunnels also came to be used as makeshift shelters. They are expected to be open to the public in May.
And with this, we finish today's show. We leave you with some amazing footage from the Conca de Tremps-Montsec area in western Catalonia that has been included today in the Geopark list of UNESCO. Enjoy and see you tomorrow.